I'm Lila Weaver from the Lila Weaver Foundation, and this is my story of a pilgrimage to India. In my previous video, you saw myself and Karman at the Sri Harmandir Sahib, or the Golden Temple in Amritsar, where I've had an amazing experience, not thinking that anything more extraordinary can happen to me. In this video, you're joining us as we fly to the state of Bihar, which is in the east of India. We're visiting the Patna Sahib in the town of Patna, where amazing things happened to me. The visit to the Sri Harmandir Sahib was so powerful and life-changing for me that I did not expect anything as profound would occur on the next leg of the pilgrimage. Well, let me tell you, I was still blown away by the next experience. India is a vast country, so a pilgrimage on foot between the 5 takhats will be challenging. Therefore, we flew from Delhi to Patna city in the Indian state of Bihar. We arrived at the Gurdwara, or the temple Sri Patna Sahib, around 7 that evening, after experiencing a horrific 4.5-hour bus trip from the airport that should have taken us 45 minutes. The streets were congested due to police and protesters. We were just grateful to arrive, even though we were terribly exhausted. We've been traveling since 6 that morning. We decided to go and give thanks at the Takhat first, meditate, and then visit the Langar Hall, and only then we will check into the hostel accommodation. Sri Patna Sahib was beautiful inside. The pure energy penetrated my being, and I was so thankful to be there. I was entranced by the beautiful white engraved marble temple walls and gold embossed ceiling. After giving my donation and giving my respect to the Holy Granth, I enjoyed Prasad. While I was walking to the temple, I noticed the amazing artwork of pearl and shell incorporated into the pictures of the walls. I saw 2 falcons beautifully inserted into the marble and knew something amazing is going to happen to me here. I sat down to the right of the area where the priest and the musicians sit. I sat for a few minutes listening to the hymns being sung. Suddenly, tears started running down my cheeks. Everything was too much. I felt totally overwhelmed, as if I was touched in a way I've never experienced before. After meditating, the tears were still running down my cheeks. Karman patiently waited for me. I noticed him nodding at me and doing a head tilt to show me that we should leave the Gurdwara now. I got up slowly, tears still streaming down my cheeks. He guided me towards the Langar Hall. We collected our plates and sat down on the mats, waiting for our meals to be dished. If you were wondering, yes, I was still crying, and noticeably to everybody around me. Karman advised me to wait outside the temple in the courtyard while he continued to do community service. We washed our hands, and as I looked up above, there above the water fountain was a photo of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Guru. I gasped for air. I couldn't believe my eyes. Right in front of me, I saw the beautiful falcon perched on the shoulder of Guru Gobind Singh's shoulder. I felt a bolt of white light entering the top of my head and further expanding my heart chakra. I felt an immense love and uncontrollable feeling of, I've arrived home. This is unthinkable that I was led here, but here is the proof. After everything I had experienced, including meeting my new guide or guru, my teacher, in the first hour of my arrival, I decided to stay right there outside. I walked as if I was in a trance, and I sat down on a mat looking up at the beautiful temple changing colors. It was a glorious and pure feeling, a feeling of utter devotion and surrender. I am in awe, how great thou power. The years flashed through my mind as if it was yesterday, and how the journey led me here to be initiated into a higher realm of awareness and purification. At this stage, I was so overwhelmed. I was not even sure what this all meant. I just knew I was touched, and now I am different. Sitting here on the mat, looking up at the Gurdwara towering above me and transforming into an array of beautiful colors, the knowledge starts streaming into me. I have been here in a past life. This led me to the most profound visions flashing through my mind, and the tears kept on coming. The days following this experience, I had vivid dreams of fighting in a war and saving people from burning temples. These dreams did not make much sense then, but as my journey continued, I learned more and more about the history of Guru Gobind Singh. It was like building a puzzle, piece by piece. The old me had to leave me. it would have to be washed away by the holy waters of the Golden Temple to make place for the new me, the ability to receive the teacher and the guide, the message the falcon brings, and the initiation will become more clearer at a later stage, as it always does. Carmen arrives a while later and he escorted me to my room. The next morning we decide to go on a bus trip to visit the other Gurdwaras and get a better understanding of the history of this Guru. In the main courtyard of the temple complex is a huge cranberry tree which bears fruit yearly. This tree is very old. Guruji used a cranberry tree twig to brush his teeth, and when done he pushed it into the ground and blessed it by saying, "Whoever are childless and prays here must eat from the fruit, and their wishes of bearing a child will be fulfilled." Guruji visited an old lady who prepared food for him in a tiny earthen pot. During the serving, more and more devotees arrived. Guruji blessed the food, and the story goes that the little pot never emptied. Sri Handi Sahib Gurudwara is named after this little earthen pot. The Gurudwara overlooks the Ganga river, or Ganges as we know it. The temple is situated right on the banks of the river. Here we took the opportunity to take a boat ride on the river. We washed our faces and took a sip of the water, which believed to have magical powers. The pure energy that rises from the Ganges is visible, and the energy this mighty waterway exudes can be felt. We saw freshwater dolphins, but unfortunately they were too quick for me to catch them on camera. On the banks of the river, we met a young newlywed couple. They were doing the rituals to bless their life together. On the way back, we walked alongside a farming community. I've never seen a water buffalo in my country, and I was curious to connect with one. I practice animal Reiki, and I was wondering how the buffalo and her calf would take to me. After a few minutes of calm and negotiating with the owner, he allowed me to touch the cow. She looked me straight in the eye, and I could feel her gentle heart connecting with mine. After a few moments, I asked her if I might touch her calf. I walked over and touched the calf. I thanked the owner, and as we walk away, he called Carmen and said that no one can touch this cow as she is too aggressive. He was totally astounded. I just nodded, smiled, and walked away. At the Gurdwara Kaaba, we were able to gather holy water from the same well the 10th Guru used to drink from. Unlike most of the Takhats, Patna Sahib does not have a holy tank. The water from this well is transported and made available at Patna Sahib. On the way back, we discover a tiny Gurdwara. The priest is very friendly, and I'm blessed to share prasad with him. He calls me over and gestures towards the holy book. He hands me the chawar and allows me to gently swing it over the holy book. This was the first time I touched such a holy object. I felt a surge of energy going through me, and as if a bolt of energy struck me, I started crying again. Once this was the palace of Raja Fateh Chand and his queen Vishambhara Devi. Now this building is also used as a Gurdwara. Our pilgrimage in Patna is now coming to an end, and we are preparing ourselves for our last prayers at Patna Sahib on this night. Every night the priests lay the Holy Granth to rest. This is quite a unique ceremony and the first one of a kind for me to experience. The holy book is carried from the front of the temple to its own room, where it will be placed securely on a soft bed and covered with beautiful cloth. The head priest walks towards the room at the back of the temple with the holy Granth on his head. An entire entourage of musicians singing and playing instruments and devotees are following him. The beautiful sounds ring through the temple. Everyone is inquisitive to see what is happening and pushed to get to the glass window to see how the book is being put to bed. Carmen finds himself right next to the priest who is carrying the holy Granth as the whole congregation is proceeding towards the Sukh Asan Astan, the room where the holy Granth rests at night. The priest silently gestures to Carmen. He goes down on his knees and starts straightening the white cloth that covers the carpet which the priest is walking on. Carmen continues to tidy and straighten all the cloth ahead of the priest's feet until they get to the resting room or Sukh Asan Astan. The priest gently places the Sri Granth Sahib on the bed and covers the holy book so it can rest. This is a very rare experience, and Carmen knows that he has also been blessed by the 10th Guru and his falcon. Carmen received a bigger gift than what he ever could have imagined. Both of us were humbled and felt extremely blessed. Deep gratitude filled our hearts, and we now know the truth in the saying, He who gives one step to God will see how God gives 100 steps towards him. I will leave India as a person richer in my thoughts, humbler in my outlook, touched by the divine, and deeply grateful. I will return to continue and complete the pilgrimage. I now know it's required of me to take a few more steps to experience the blessings of the remaining 4 takhats. During our final langar meal in Patna, we both came to the realization that we must complete the yatra pilgrimage of the 5 takhats together. Guruji brought me onto this guided journey. The message of the falcon was, "Open your heart and I'll show you the kingdom." I have not yet seen the kingdom, but now I know who the falcon is, and so it is. This is our 4th episode of our Sikh pilgrimage, which will continue over the next few months. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Lila Weaver. Do join us on our latest adventure of spiritual enlightenment. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.